Welcome back to the Sports Source. This part of our program is brought to you by our friends at Tennova Healthcare. No one in East Tennessee provides more health-based services than my friends at Tennova. From heart care to orthopedic care to robot-assisted surgery, sleep centers, labor and delivery services. They even offer Knoxville's only midwifery services carried out by certified midwives, a midwifery service. That tells you Tennova Healthcare covers it all. Whatever your healthcare need is, trust the people I trust. Trust Tennova. Learn more about them by going to Tennova.com. You'll be able to read all about those services I just mentioned and many, many more. Tennova Healthcare. All right, back with the football part of the group, the football line change we just made. We've been doing this the last few weeks, position by position. I want to start with the receivers today. We got a little graphic here. It shows you exactly what we're going to be talking about. Let's just start very quickly. All we need is a letter grade. For 2014, and there were some mitigating circumstances. Your offensive line hurt your pass game, and this team was bitten by the injury bug. Where do you, was it B, C? There were big hype for that team.
B minus.
B minus.
Incomplete.
He cavaliersed the question.
Incomplete or dropped? Was the pass incomplete or dropped? I'm going to give him a B.
All right, a B.
Big orange B.
Big orange B. All right. And then the next question is quite simply, is this group going to be better or worse in 2015? All right. Everybody's making a big deal out of Vic Wharton's transfer. Guy caught that touchdown pass in the Tax Slayer Bowl. He's going to Cal. All right. But look at all the people they've got. Better or worse?
Appreciably better.
Appreciably better this year. David?
Better.
Better.
Yes, agreed. And Vic Wharton, real quick, what's that? His fifth school in 5 years or whatever. So,
yeah, it's hard to put too much into. Yeah, Sterling.
Incredibly better if they're healthy.
yeah.
If they're healthy. All right. And
caveat.
so this is the last question. There it is. Will this unit live up to the hype this year? Last year, probably going into the season, that was the most hyped group on the team. And then due to those reasons I mentioned earlier, they didn't live up to it. But now you've got Cody Blank, Pig Howard, Jason Croom, Josh Malone, Marquez North, Von Pearson, Josh Smith, Jonathan Johnson all back. You add Preston Williams, five-star freshman who's coming off ACL surgery last fall. You look at it as a whole, UT should have possession receivers, route runners, deep threats. Do they live up to the hype, guys?
I'm going to say they will if they're healthy. As Pearl said, I think that everything you mentioned is there with the height, with the speed, with the slot. You got so many different elements to the receiving game that should be better. I think Dobbs is going to be better. That's going to help him. I don't think you'll see him surrender 43, 45 sacks, whatever it was. So I think he'll have more time to throw. And I think just a year in the system with Azani is going to help him. I think they'll be a lot better.
Yeah.
Former offensive lineman, how much does having a better offensive line, you hope, and a more dynamic quarterback, how much does that aid those receivers out there?
Significantly, and it's not just from the pass protection standpoint of giving Dobbs and someone who's Dobbs and the line and both added starts last year, added experience. They can most likely get a run game going.
That's a great point.
And you're taking pressure off those receivers, allowing them, better matchups defensively.
Yeah, and how many of those receivers had a healthy year, healthy year last year? I mean, if those things go in cycles, you think that should even out. So, yeah, John, to answer your question, I think they can and I think they will.
Okay. Sterling.
I think they're going to be incredibly better. They're absolutely going to live up to the hype. Even if, for some reason, that injury bug bites them again, because what you saw last year was true freshmen stepping up with no experience making big plays. Now, those guys got a year underneath their belt. Now, those veterans are coming back. So they're going to be better regardless. But if they all stay healthy, oh, boy.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about the Vic Wharton thing. Here's a side angle list. We listed all those receivers. Are there enough footballs to go around? I mean, are some of these guys going to sit there and say, look, I came here, I wanted X amount of playing time?
But
absolutely.
Here's what I would say.
It's a good problem to have.
Didn't we wonder that last year? And then all of a sudden they start having injuries, and you're thinking, boy, if Big Croom doesn't come through for you, are you going to have to be pulling some kids out of the stands to play wide receiver?
But you wondered that with freshmen that were backing them up. Now those guys are veterans backing them up. I think having more receivers, as you're talking about, I think that's going to help the good receivers be better because there's more competition. Are there enough footballs to go around? Maybe not, but it'll still make the top line receivers better, I think, this year.
Social media, always where you got to go for the good stuff. Zach Azani takes kind of a beating in terms of social media because he's mean. He and Butch Jones are meanies. They say mean things to players, and that's why players are leaving. Sterling, you've been over there enough. Your thoughts on Zach Azani and watching him coach the receivers? Is this guy any different than coaches you've seen in the past?
Well, in the past, absolutely not. I mean, I didn't know my name was Sterling Hinton during practice, if you get my drift. So, but I can tell you right now, Coach Azzanni is the proof is in the pudding. I mean, this guy put true freshmen out there to make big plays for our football team. Imagine we had one of those balls dropped. Games we might have not won if Vic didn't catch that ball in the bowl game.
Oh, you still win the bowl game.
But no, I don't think so. You got momentum is football, Chuck. I'm talking as a player now, Chuck. You're a great analyst, great media guy. As a player, and then basketball guys say it too. It's all about momentum. Those plays take you over the top, and he made the play. Coach Azzanni's proof is in the pudding.
I think the deal is, and I'll keep saying this, but I wanted to touch on that there because Azzanni's taken a pretty good beating for people who say that, the guys who want to say that these people are leaving simply because the coaches are mean, rather than none of these guys are starters. I keep going back to the same thing that a former Vol told me, and that is, alert me when a Kurt Magid leaves or a Josh Dobbs leaves. Until then, it happens. Best of luck at Cal to Vic Wharton. We'll see how the receiving crew does this year. We didn't even mention tight ends. And so you're throwing a few more weapons in there as well. But when we come back, we'll talk linebackers a little bit later in the show. But up next is Tennessee losing ground to its SEC rivals on the basketball court. It's stuck in neutral right now. Are other programs passing it by? Come on back on the Sports Source.
Quality, quick. Trust Fast Frame.